So I felt like it was important to record this video because I've been pondering recently. I've been, working on loads of things as far as branding is concerned. And one thing that sort of caught my attention is the idea that, there's always content going around. And it's quite ironic that I say that on the basis that I am producing one video and uploading it every single day on YouTube. But then I was starting to think that, once you are in the game of, say, content creation, building your brand, becoming more visible and credible in the process in order for you to generate more opportunity for yourself, you then ultimately decide that you are going to enter the game of producing said content, right? And that's completely fine. I am a big advocate for producing content in order to put yourself forward and to get more opportunities, right? But then for me, I realized that from when you can simply just go on Instagram, for example, and spend your time just scrolling through, you can be doom scrolling for a good 10 minutes and you have come across so much information. It's like information overload. And with that, it can be particularly dangerous when you are looking to establish your own brand and your own place in the world, when you're always consumed with the ideas and thoughts of others. So, in this video, I just wanted to sort of share a bit more insights into that and then just to kind of give some advice from my perspective of the best way to go about dealing with that as well. Because building a brand is something that you need to build that is bespoke to you, right? And that's the reason why they call it personal branding, right? You build a brand that is personable to you and personal to you. But in the same aspect, you are in the process of wanting to build a revenue generating brand, right? And if you are in the process of doing that, then you also need to think in the lens of your ICP. What are they looking for? What do they want? How are you able to help them achieve their dream outcome? So through that, you have your personal brand and you have your business brand, right? Your business brand is the main focus area that many people are missing when it comes down to the process of brand building. They spend a lot of time building their personal brand and they become a lot more visible in the process and trustworthy. But in the grand scheme of things, they produce so much content to the point where they don't actually bring it back to the why. Why are they doing it? How are you able to lead and convert that attention into new sort of leads and new prospects, right? That can ultimately become clients. And I think a lot of people are sort of missing that gap. And I feel that because of that, a lot of people are placed in a position of decision paralysis, right? Just off the bat that there's so much content that is being consumed that you don't know what to do in that sense. You could be producing content in a certain way, or you could actually have a strategy in place of how you are going to produce that content and how you are going to be able to convert that sort of attention you get through your content into actual leads into your business. And there's far too much opinions when it comes down to the process of brand building, client acquisition, retention in that aspect as well. The whole sort of business life cycle when it comes down to getting the client and offboarding, that whole process from start to finish. Everyone now has an opinion on that. And when you get caught up looking through so much content and incorporating various different parts into your work, you then start to get blurred. The lines get blurred with the idea of what you are actively doing that's high leverage that can put you in the right position in order for you to continue to build your brand and to continue to build your business. But then there's also the point that there's so many dividing opinions in terms of what to do and what not to do. And through that, that is what can cause decision paralysis. And I believe that it's in your best interest to really Think about what it is that you want to do, right? And by no means am I saying to just stop watching the content in general, because the content is good for getting an idea of what is being positioned. And it's also good for you to think of it from the aspect of a consumer, to then understand how this video works and how this video even landed on my feed, on my algorithm. And based on the actual process of the video, what is it that actually makes me want to watch it from start to finish? And then from you being able to identify the framework and the formula for effective content, that is what you can then ultimately mimic and implement within your own content strategy, to then do similar things and then just do it in a way that's unique to you. So that is one thing that I would advise on that side of things. But then I would also say, as far as the gurus are concerned, because don't get me wrong, there's thousands of gurus online talking about the ideas of business, right? And a lot of them, they have all the proof to showcase that they have done all the things that they've built, to the point where now they sell a lot of products and services based on what they were able to do within their consultancy business, their agency, whatever it may be. But then one thing that I would advise as well is, with the amount of content that is coming through and the amount of gurus that ultimately just pop up and talk a lot of good stuff, right? Do your research on the ones that you actually like, right? The ones that you actually listen to and you feel that a lot of the content they produce resonates a lot with you. And it's something that, give or take, at some stage, you would actually want to invest your own money in working with them directly, or working with their team, or whatever it may be. If you get to a point where you have done your research and then that person is someone that you're interested in working with, or whatever the case, have them as someone you can list out on your list of people you are willing to invest in, right? And I would say keep that list at a good number, because, as I said, the whole idea now is to focus on that quality content side of things. And when I say quality, I mean the quality of getting the actual people who resonate the most with you, and being able to build a list out to then say to yourself that you are only really much interested in consuming content that they have to offer and they have to share. And when you do that, then it helps you more so with the process of developing your ideas and developing your skills, because you are consuming the content from a limited number of people that you believe in, and then you will happily provide your time commitment in order to learn from them. If you sort of branch that out too wide, that is what will cause you to kind of stall in the process, because you're consuming so much information and you have limited time to actually implement and take action on the things that you are actually learning in real time. And that's why I say keep it at a minimal in terms of the gurus that you admire and that you actually consume their content, right? Even for myself, there is probably 10 10 or so people who I've listed to say these people are actively people that I listen to. I subscribe to their content. I watch their content on a regular basis. And I keep it at that minimal level because it helps me to learn from the greats, but it also keeps me grounded in the approach that I don't want to be too consumed in far too much content that ultimately has nothing to do with me and could actually stop me from progressing and producing content myself, or actively working towards what I can do to continue to develop and build my business in real time. So that's why I say you got to take it with a pinch of salt and then figure out exactly who is good for you, because ultimately not everyone is going to be good for you. There may be people who will say amazing things and they will present their videos in an amazing way, but they are not the ones for you to listen to right now, because they are just clouding your head with so much ideas of things that feel good in the time, but when you actually realize that you're not actually doing the work that they have been telling you you should be doing, that's when you get in that process of paralysis. So you need to be very mindful and careful of that. because you need to build your brand with the intention of you building it. And you can't build a brand just by listening to everyone else and going off the back of what they are doing alone. You need to have your brand bespoke and in place in terms of how you carve it out and how you develop it. And as well as you listening to various different people online, right? You also want to make sure that you live your life as well, because you being able to do cool things in your life and being able to accomplish various different things are the same things that you implement back into your brand, the same things that you are able to showcase and you inspire people to take action and to learn from you, is because you start doing things that people actually think, you know what, that is actually really cool. I want to become immersed in your world and your ecosystem. And that's what it's about. For me, from when I documented and showcased my story of leaving my full-time role in July 2024 and went going skydiving for the first time, and then using that as a catalyst to really start the whole entrepreneurial journey of me building a seven-figure brand within 1,000 days of me producing daily content. That is my narrative and my story that will make people think, wow, that is actually pretty impressive and that's cool, whilst I'm documenting the whole process. So whilst I do listen to loads of different gurus or different content creators on various different things they're doing, and yes, I do a lot of data analysis, and I do a lot of sort of capturing of the content to really analyze it to see what I can also do to implement these ideas in a way that makes the most sense for me. But at the same time, I never let all of the various different pieces of content that I consume affect me to the point where I am not producing my own content. You need to always consider yourself as a creator more than a consumer in the grand scheme of things. And when you strike a balance where you are able to produce more than you are consuming, then you are in a greater position knowing that you are doing the actual work that is necessary for you to continue to grow and to develop, more so than you are learning so many different things and then getting to that point of decision paralysis, as I mentioned, and not really moving forward with it as well. So for that, I would just say, really focus on the why. I always say it, focus on your why. Focus on your why and establish your plan. Establish your plan of what you are looking to do, where you are looking to get to within a certain time frame. And throughout that time frame, then develop a bespoke list of people who you have seen online. They have said things that are interesting to you. They have said things that inspire you, and they have inspired you to take action. And list those people out solely and just keep that list as a bespoke list to say that these are the set people that I am looking to be immersed in as far as content is concerned. And then just continue on that, and then really set guidelines for yourself to say that these are the only set of people that I am going to consume their content, because I feel that what they have to offer and what they have to share resonates with me a lot. And I feel that their content allows me to incorporate a lot of the lessons that they've learned into my business, into my brand. When you set criterias and guidelines, that will help you a lot in being able to identify who's for you and what you are able to do with the time that you have. So I hope this video has helped. I was just really thinking about it for a while because, you know, with me producing this content, ironically, of course, I would love to have as many people watching and consuming and listening to my content, but not at the sake of them not doing the work themselves as well. So to end this video, if you got to the end of this video and you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. But also, please make sure that you get the work done as well, because I assure you, with all the content that I am producing as well, I am getting the work done more than I am consuming content as well. So please get on with it, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Look after. Peace out.